Genius Insomniac. It's Bruce, the coolest nerd you know. So as long as there's been people, there's always been conflict. As long as there's been the internet, video phone, social media, and comments, there's always been conflict. Where am I getting at? Here's where I'm getting at. Everyone's seen a fight video or two on the internet. The last few years, we've seen a lot of teenagers fight online. And the progression of that is teenage boys and teenage girls fight online. I don't condone violence by either sex towards the other, but in this particular video, there's one particular conflict that I've seen online in the comments that always erupts in a firestorm of arguing and videos where teenage girls are aggressive to teenage boys. Now, I know there are instances where teenage boys hit teenage girls first. Before anyone runs off with that, this is not what the topic of this conversation is. This conversation is about when young girls are extremely aggressive to teenage boys, resulting in an altercation, and the comments just go crazy. Some people say men should never hit women, a male should never hit a female no matter what she ever does. While others say, hey, guy should be able to defend himself against a girl. And then there's like another, he can defend himself, but he shouldn't actually hit her. He should maybe try to subdue her. And there are plenty of videos out there. And as you notice, I've been using this screen back here as a bit of a reference. I don't want to get flagged, but this is a topic of discussion. I mean, there's a few schools of thought here. I mean, just to play devil's advocate here, in most states, there's no distinction between man or woman when it comes to self-defense law. As long as anyone defends themselves with equal force in order to stop an attacker, that's perfectly legal in just about every single state. So on the legal side, there's not really an argument there. I know most people think that if a man hits a woman, it's automatically going to be a domestic violence case here. That's not necessarily true. You get into a gray area if a woman maybe slaps a man once and then he slams her all around the room, punches in the face 20 times, and they say, hey, that was out of self-defense. But similarly, a man would be charged for assault for doing that to another man as well. So as long as the self-defense is equal, legally there's a case. I think this comes down to like morals and ethics and how people were raised maybe. I mean, some people were raised, hey, you never put your hand on a woman. I mean, I was taught the same thing. But I also can recognize there's a gray area here. I mean, I have daughters, and my oldest daughter, I mean, I've told her before, like, hey, you know, you will get in arguments with men, but being physically weaker, I do not advise you to strike a man, causing a situation for him to make this decision to hit you back. The consequences of that situation could outweigh the decision to strike the man in the first place. Kids her age, I mean, they're close to being college age kids. So there's a huge disparity there in strength. But going back to the third scenario, do you think it's a responsibility of young men to stop short of hitting females and just, you know, trying to subdue or trying to play a completely defensive role and say, okay, I'm going to grab you, I'm going to, you know, try to hold you at bay? I mean, do you think that's the young man's responsibility, or should he try to stop the attack? I mean, this comes down to, do you believe in an eye for an eye? Do you believe in more of the legal structure and framework of it, of stopping the attacker? Or do you say, hey, you know what? No matter what, you always have to keep your cool and just stop her from doing what she's doing? I really like to know how people feel about that. I mean, this usually takes a social media comment section and turns it into a battle of the sexes. I mean, World War III. Hopefully we can have like a healthy conversation about it. So let me know what you think about that kind of situation. If you like any or all this video, make sure you thumbs up the video, share the video, talk about the video. Follow me on Twitter at @TweetInsomniac, Snapchat at BZBet. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, by the way. But as always, I'm Bruce, coolest nerd you know.